Well, rain may not be a good thing for you this morning. It rained overnight, and we're going to rain through portions of the day today. I'm supposed to play in the Elves for Autism charity event at TPC Michigan in Dearborn with Bart Lauer, who appeared twice on the Big Break on the Golf Channel. I don't know if we'll get to do that or not, but nevertheless, the donations will be in for Elves for Autism, as we've raised a little bit of money there. So maybe we play, maybe we don't. It'll depend on the weather. Bill Haas yesterday parred the third playoff hole, and that was enough to defeat Hunter Mahan and win the Tour Championship at East Lake down in Atlanta. Haas also won the $10 million prize for finishing first in the race for the FedEx Cup. So what is that after taxes? I don't know, but it's a pretty nice payday down there for him. I'm really sort of happy that the guy who won the Tour Championship also won the FedEx Cup because it's simpler. Because there was a scenario where Bill Haas could have won the tournament and someone else had more points and won that. You don't really care. It's $10 million to Bill Haas. That's the way I look at it. And it pretty much signals the end of the real PGA Tour for the year. There will be some events like Justin Timberlake has an event in Las Vegas this coming weekend and a few others, and then we'll get to the President's Cup and that sort of thing. But you can put a bow on it this time for the PGA Tour. By the way, Tiger Woods has hired a new caddy. He made the announcement on his website. He parted with Steve Williams 2 months ago, and he's going to have Joe LaCava as his caddy. Now, Joe LaCava spent many, many, many years with Fred Couples, and now he's going to work with Tiger Woods, and he had been with Dustin Johnson for a while, so he's switching from Dustin Johnson to Tiger Woods, which is an interesting move because Dustin Johnson is a pretty good up-and-coming player, and Tiger Woods may be past it, according to a lot of people, but Joe LaCava will take his shot with Tiger, and we'll see how that works out. The Solheim Cup was this weekend. That's the Women's Ryder Cup, if you will, and Rosie Jones is the captain of the American team. And unfortunately, Rosie Jones and her Americans lost, but they lost in a very curious way. This event was at Killeen Castle in Ireland, and Europe regained the Solheim Cup for the first time since 2003. It was a dramatic 15-13 final day victory. The outcome hinged on the last 3 matches. That's the best you can hope for in a team match play event like that. But all 3 of those matches went to Europe, including a Michelle Wie loss. Christy Kerr, the American, broke down in tears during the warm-up because it became apparent she couldn't play. She was injured with tendinitis in her right arm, and so she had to forfeit her match, and that was enough to swing the victory. And so Christy Kerr very upset. Rosie Jones, obviously the captain, not too happy to go about it that way. And they did have terrible weather on some of the rounds in Ireland, as we sort of predicted it. Rosie Jones was on the program with me before she went over to Ireland, and she was talking about what is it like to play in those sorts of conditions and so forth. And here's what she said.
Well, first of all, I think our best thing that we can do is have really good rain suits. I think that's our first equipment necessity. And after watching the Ryder Cup last year, we really went back and made sure that the selections that we made, which were great selections for rain suits, and double and triple tested them. So we should be in good shape as far as the rain goes. But you're right, it's going to be a really hard. It's really unpredictable, like you said, and we're expecting the worst and hope for the best.
A little shot at the American U.S. Ryder Cup team. They went over to Wales, and you'll remember they had rain suits that the rain came through the stitching in all the logos, and so they had to ditch their rain suits in the middle of the event and buy some new ones in the golf shop. And so Rosie Jones there had the Antigua golf rain gear and kept them dry. And, in fact, that's what I'm going to wear today when I go and play with Bart Lauer at TPC in that event. And if he makes me play, and he says I'm a mutter, so bring your rain gear, I'll be in my Antigua, just like Rosie Jones and her team were at the Solheim Cup. Now, Rosie Jones has a history here in Michigan, and we talked about that, too. Her days playing in the Oldsmobile Classic in Lansing at Walnut Hills.
Oh, I loved it, yeah. We played up there. I mean, Michigan golf courses up there. Walnut Hills is a fantastic golf course and a lot of fun. You know, we knew it was going to be some wet, heavy grass, in there during the summer. And if it rained at all there, the course would play really plush and, a lot of fun.
We're getting wet, heavy weather today for sure, and heavy hearts for the Solheim Cup team and Rosie Jones after losing to Europe yesterday. In fact, I will be in Wales this weekend. It's the one-year anniversary of the Ryder Cup, and I will be there at Celtic Manor to have a look. I'm working on a story for Golf Magazine about how the economic impact of having a major event like that works for a town and for a resort. Is it good? Is it bad? There's a lot of investment involved. Did it turn out well for Celtic Manor at Wales? So I've never been to Wales before. I've been to Scotland and Ireland more than 20 times, but Wales will be a first, so I'll be there this weekend. Meanwhile, the governor is overseas, too. He's in the Far East, in Tokyo. He left Mackinac Island Saturday morning, and he's already working hard in Japan. He says Michigan is breaking bad habits, not looking for fights, and seeking talented immigrants as a key to rebuilding the state's economy. That was at the Midwest Governors Conference in Japan. And the speech was the first public event of a week-long trade mission. The governor will be in Japan, China, and South Korea. And Governor Snyder said Michigan is, quote, embracing opportunities for the future. We're not wasting time looking for fights or placing blame. Looking in the rearview mirror is not productive. Those are early words from the governor in the Far East. While you slept, he was working. We're going to get you the full sports story. The Tigers, the Lions, the Red Wings played too, and the rest of the NFL scores. All of that coming, and are the Yankees and Red Sox going to determine who plays in the American League wildcard position? Maybe. How did they do yesterday? Stay tuned for that. It's Michigan's Morning Show. Michael Patrick Shields.